Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. We're back. It's been a couple of days. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Labor Day. It is Tuesday, September 5th. My name is Peter Apple, and I'm here to deliver you some MLB winners. We got a packed show today. Packed. I got 2 picks. We're going to go over our season-long prize picks entry because it fires me up every single time I look at that damn graphic. And then on top of it, we had 8 different cappers coming on with 25 picks. And we have a little dip in the time slot, right? Because we got 455, 505, everything down, but we got a slot open at 550. That's where I'm going to give you a new NFL future, and then you better come through tomorrow because that's when I'm going over my NFL season-long prize picks entry. People sleep on my NFL knowledge. People sleep. They always do because they look at me, they see the hat, they see the background, and they think baseball. And you should. Well, not this season because I've sucked, but we've been a little bit hot lately. But in the NFL, that is my favorite sport to bet, right? Baseball guy first. It's my love. It's my passion. NFL, my favorite sport to bet. So we're going to talk about it all, and it's all brought to you by the Pikkit Sports App. Producer Cohen is back in building. He's about to drop the link. Go download it. Just do it. Just do it. Larry Beeman gifting out subs. What a stud. Larry. Clap it up for Larry. W's in the chat for Larry. Atta baby Larry. Just constant W's from Larry. All right, ladies and gents. We got a packed show here today. But first, we got to do a quick recap of how we did on Friday. Bang! Pittsburgh, money line, count it, and one, and the foul. How about our player props on prize picks? More, less, didn't matter. We got it all. Jake Irvin lands on 4. Brandon Belt goes, yeah. Can we, Producer Cohen, just kind of remind people what happened on Friday, please?
Brandon Belt is hitting a home run today. And you know what I saw? Guess who leads the game in home run odds? Brandon Belt.
And deep into right field. Belt gives this one a ride. Number 17 in the ballpark. His 16th of the season. And just what the Jays needed, 448.
Just every so often, the kid gets it right. And we're trying to get it right again. But first, let's show those Pirates highlights. Let's just keep living in winners. Producer Cohen. Let's keep living in winners. Mitch Keller is so back. Dakota Hudson did pretty well, though. He's weird because I thought Dakota Hudson was terrible before the season started, but he's actually been decent here. He's getting ground balls, but when the Mitch Keller train is rolling through, you ain't got nothing to do. How about the Pittsburgh Pirates, though? What did I say? Slow tossing righties, they can hang with you, and the Cardinals are just awful. Look at that catch by Alika Williams. Here's a Wilson Contreras bomb. But then the fighting Buccos. Nope, not there, though. How about there? Oh, not there either. Arenado, that was sick. Here we go, Anna, baby. Get around home. Cardinals bullpen. It's like we've seen it 1,000 times before. That's why everyone's saying, why not Pittsburgh first 5? I was like, sure, but we want to deal with this nonsense. Nice job, Cardinals. You bunch of morons. Atta baby Pirates. I got a lot of shit for that pick. Atta baby Pirates. Let's keep the train going. Anyone hear that? Producer Cohen, you hear that? I've hit 3 in a row. Anyone hear that? Anyone hear the bank opening? All right, no more cringe talk. Baseball talk. We're going to head to Cleveland for the Twins versus the Guardians at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. Now, this pick starts relatively soon, about an hour and 20 out. And the pitching matchup is Sonny Gray versus Tanner Bybee. Remember the name because he's going to deliver us a winner today. I wrote yesterday when we had the over 8 runs and it ended 20-6. Now, whenever you take an over and it hits by fucking 16 runs, you're always like, oh, I wish that was a 2-unit play. At the same time, though, I did not expect the Twins to hit up Giolito like that. I thought they'd hit him, not 8 earned. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yesterday, after that game happened, the Guardians must have felt really embarrassed, and the Twins must feel fat and happy after winning 20-6. I think the Guardians seek revenge today. That's what originally led me to this game, right? Because I always have a feeling, you go into it and you're like, I kind of like the Guardians today. But let me look into the matchup a little bit more. Now, we have 2 different plays. One team got kicked in the mouth, and I think they stay down. Another team got kicked in the mouth, and I think they bounce back, right? If you're in a race and you get kicked in the mouth like that, I think everybody goes in the locker room and they're like, we have to win tomorrow, right? But if you're already out of it and you get knocked on your ass like that, it can kind of suck the soul right out of you. But there is nobody I want on the mound more for the Guardians right now outside of Cal Quantrill, because he's the greatest pitcher alive, than Tanner Bybee. He should be in strong consideration for the American League Rookie of the Year. A 3.03 ERA in 124 innings this season is fantastic, but he's at his very best pitching at Progressive Field. His 2.02 ERA and 2.76 FIP at home is one of baseball's best, and he's holding hitters to a 194 opponent batting average. His 3.64 expected ERA even trumps Sonny Gray's at 3.74. However, while I love Bybee, and what Bybee does really well is he limits power production. That's what you want to do against the Minnesota Twins. So I like his matchup today, but I do not want to disrespect Sonny Gray. He's been so damn good all season long and deserves Cy Young votes. That said, this is not the best spot for him in the world. Sonny Gray does have a few weaknesses. He's worse against lefties, and he's had his rougher road starts, right? Home road splits, he's worse on the road. Against left-handed bats, Sonny Gray has a lower strikeout rate, a higher walk rate, and his FIP is 3.03 compared to 2.63 against righties. You look at OPS, 654 against lefties, 561 against righties, right? He's so good against righties. Lefties, though, you can see it a little bit. And he's going to face a Guardians lineup that's filled with 7 left-handed bats today. And the Guardians have had success against him in the past. He's thrown 18 2/3 against them this season. His last start was against Cleveland, where he tossed 7 shutout innings at home. He faced them back on June 3rd, allowing 10 hits and 3 earned runs in 6 2/3. His lone start at Progressive Field, 5 innings, 3 runs. So his worst start against Cleveland, funny enough, came in Cleveland where he's at today. In 188 plate appearances, so this is a large sample, against the Guardians' current roster. The Guardians are hitting 273 against him. Very good. 348 xWOBA against him. Very good. 437 expected slug. Not great, but still solid. The Guardians have had better results against Pablo Lopez, but are hitting the ball harder against Sonny Gray. After just seeing him a week ago, and this being his 4th time facing them this year, I expect them to hit him up a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just to develop a lead. And the Twins are familiar with Bybee, and they've been pretty good against him. His last 2 starts against them in Minnesota, he allowed 2 runs, then 3 runs in 5-inning spurts. Now they get to face him in Cleveland. Remember, hasn't faced him at Progressive Field yet all season long. Now, Bybee, how's his quality of contact against the Twins? 235 opponent batting average, 304 xWOBA, 391 expected slug, all lower. And that expected slug is so key because how do the Twins manufacture runs? By the home run, right? Well, Tanner Bybee, he's really good at keeping the ball in the yard. And against the Twins' current roster, the power has been dampened. That's what I want. And the Twins, very good when they're facing guys who struggle against left-handed bats because they have so many of them. Bybee, 560 OPS against lefties, 751 OPS against righties. He's in a good spot today. And Cleveland, they got the bullpen advantage, right? Because they added all these guys at the waiver deadline and their bullpen was already better. So if this game is close, which I think it will be, I have more faith in the home team and the bullpen strength. This is not a value play, right? Sometimes we look at the model. Sometimes I think a line is completely mispriced. I don't think it is. I just believe in the Guardians today. I believe in Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you. That was cringy. Next play. White Sox versus Kansas City Royals at 7:05 p.m. It's 7:40 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Dylan Cease versus Brady Singer. This is almost the complete opposite of the Guardians play, right? Different circumstances, value, not a bounce back spot. We'll talk about it. The Royals just stomped all over the White Sox yesterday. And if there's a team that shows zero fight when they get kicked in the mouth, it's the White Sox. And on the other hand, when the Royals are hot, you just ride them. It's also different because the model is going berserk with this one. Producer Cohen, can you pull a ballpark pal for me real quick while I'm talking about this? The model's going berserk. Now, you guys know I don't blindly tail the model, right? The model, for example, had the Rangers yesterday at minus 177. Was I going to place them? Absolutely not. It's when I agree with the model, right? What are we looking at on the model right now? Minus 181, the model is telling us, right? But I just agree with the model here. Without Luis Robert, I think this White Sox team is about as low on the podium as any team in the game. They rank in the bottom 5 against right-handers over the past month, past 2 weeks, you name it. They were embarrassed yesterday, and they have no clubhouse leadership to turn the ship around. Eloy Jimenez, he said it himself. Earlier on the season, he was asked, how do you replace Jose Abreu's leadership in the clubhouse? You know what his answer was? I don't know. He was asked again about it 2 weeks ago. Who's the leader in the clubhouse? Guess what he said? I don't know. This Royals team ranks in the middle of the pack of righties, and they get Dylan Cease. Big name. Cease has been so inconsistent all season long, but he gets respect on the line because his name is Dylan Cease, and he finished 3rd in American League Cy Young voting last season, or 2nd. He was up there. The Royals already beat the shit out of him this season. 7 earned runs in 5 innings in his lone start. And he's worse on the road on top of all of this. But here's why this is a half unit. Brady Singer just went through a really cold stretch. He got bombed in his last few starts. And the Royals skipped his turn in the rotation due to arm fatigue. His MRI came back clean, and the Royals decided that he was healthy enough to make this start. This would be a full unit play if I knew for sure Singer was ready to go. Brady Singer faced the White Sox once this season and threw 6 innings of 1-run ball. He posted a 3.98 ERA at home this season compared to a 6.91 ERA on the road. And he's facing a Luis Robert-less White Sox lineup that can't hit righties, they can't hit anyone, they suck. And both bullpens stink. Capping them is a crapshoot. I lean the home team just to get it done. There's a chance, right? Why not Royals first 5? Why not this? Why not that? There's a chance the Royals rush back Singer, and he doesn't perform well. If he's down velocity and can't locate, White Sox may win this one. Considering the Royals are putting him out there, I have faith that he's healthy enough. Do I think he'll be as sharp as? No. So I'm going to stick, and it's not like, oh, well, the Royals bullpen is bad. Have you seen the White Sox pen? Have you seen them? Give me the Royals on the money line. Give me the Royals on the money line. Let me read some comments here. Great Vibe Tuesdays. Absolutely. NFL Futures Pod. So what we've been using this, we've kind of just stopped the Not Gambling Advice podcast in particular because we do this live show all the time. Like during the NFL season, we're going to be on every Monday Night Football picks and leans for the next week. Thursday Night Football leans for Sunday. And Thursday Night. Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, streams for both. Then Friday is a Sunday stream. And then on this stream, especially tomorrow, but I have a futures for you today, and I've already given them out, right? Given out the Cowboys over 9.5 wins, them to win the division. I gave out the Bills 2 units to win the AFC East. I gave out the Commanders under win total, under 6.5, and a light sprinkle on them to finish with the worst record in the NFL. Today, I'm giving you another one. Tomorrow, we're doing our season-long NFL entry and then my last NFL futures to get everybody ready. And then Thursday, we got Chiefs, Lions. Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee. Total went from 54.5 to 53. Spread went from 6.5 down to 5.5. Something to monitor. We're going to talk about all of it. Can't believe you are doubting Sam Howell. I can't believe you believe in Sam Howell. What has he proven to you? Drop into the 5th round? His one game last year where he's got a bad O-line, bad offense, and a bad head coach. You believe in him? Come on. Let's be real with each other. No, we don't. We don't believe in him here, Producer Cohen. Do you believe in him? No. He just goes, no. Cease under FS last 3 up for 2.5 runs, but had given up 5, 8, 5 last 3. No concern. You know whose earned runs are not up? Brady Singer. You know why? Because he's minus 160 to go under 2.5 earned runs. Yeah, like, do I think? I mean, the 2.5 earned runs square, like, how often are you guys placing those and those are automatic winners? Like, no, I'm not concerned. Could it lose? Absolutely. But there was a reason Brady Singer's 2.5 earned run square is not up. It's because he's so juiced to the under, right? So it's kind of where I'm at there. Any NFL contests for the Cappers? Oh, you're speaking my language, my friend. You are speaking my language. Absolutely. We're going to be tracking everybody's. Everybody's going to be on. Same sort of deal. G-Men over 7.5 wins. Easy money this season. Lock it up. Panthers under 7.5 wins. Minus 120. Lock it up. Mike, we're on the same page of the Panthers. G-Men, not as much, but I don't hate it. Have you not watched any? Oh, don't. Chase State Farm. Don't tell me we're getting takes from preseason against third-string defenses who are playing absolutely no defensive schemes out there. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. You know a team that went 4-0 in the preseason last year or 3-0 undefeated? The Raiders. How'd they do? Come on. I already bet a ton. You want me to just do more bets with you? Why don't you just bet the over? Are you a Commanders fan? Are you a Commanders fan? But seriously, are we saying, have you seen him in preseason? That's why we're going to lose so many NFL bets if that's our tone. We're going to lose so many NFL bets. Come on. Steelers fan. Well, we can work out a friendly side bet, I'm sure. Well, my DMs are open. Feel free to DM me. I mean, I don't want to make side bets with everybody who disagrees. Why don't you just bet against it on BetMGM? Bet against it. You don't like it? Bet against it. All right, Producer Cohen, let's get to our home run pick. Because I already know who I want to pick. And I don't even know if he's on the home run zone, but I already got it locked. Is he up there? I'm looking for Diamondbacks. Walker? No, he's not up there. I kind of don't care. What is Mike Ford doing up there? Oh, baby. Is Mike Ford in the lineup? Is Mike Ford in the lineup? Oh, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Hold on. Oh my God, Mike Ford's hitting 7th, 6th. Yeah, Zach Wilson didn't look too bad in the preseason. Yeah, Sam Ellinger looked good in the preseason. Surely he's the starter. So I had a couple home run picks that I wanted to deploy. I really like Evan Longoria and I really like Emmanuel Rivera. Are they in the lineup today? Diamondbacks. It's late night piece. The Emmanuel Rivera is hitting 2nd. Longoria's hitting 5th. I think both of them hit a home run today. But I got to do Mike Ford. No, but I like all 3 of them. So I'm gonna cheat out a little bit. I'm gonna give you 3 home run picks. I'm gonna give you 3 of them. No, I'm gonna pick one Diamondback. One Diamondback. This is a game Evan Longoria goes yard. Evan Longoria for the Arizona Diamondbacks is going to hit a home run today. And also Mike Ford of the Seattle Mariners is going to hit a home run today. Those are the picks. I'm very excited about them. Laugh now, but I'll laugh more at your bet at the end of the season, just like I do Crabs. J State Farm, what's up your butt today? Actually, I like a little shit talking. I don't mind it. But you better be consistent. You better be consistent because I get a lot of that all the time. I'm going to laugh. Then it comes true. You know how many people said I was an idiot for Yordan Alvarez? Producer Cohen, let's bring it up. Let's just bring up the season-long entry, please. Come on. It's about to start the season. You have to bring the shit talking to fire it up. You know what, Jay State Farm? I'm actually on your side with that one. I love that. I love that. You are firing me up, and I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. needs 24 hits to go over 163.5. I love you too, Jay State Farm. He's projected 166. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, Vladdy's getting a little hot here. Pete, if you tell me if Waldichuk's PP square of 2.5 earned runs is sus or not, I'll sub bang. I lean under 8 in that game. I mean, the Blue Jays are not very good against left-handed pitching, at least from a power output. How many games does he have left? 24. 24 games to get 24 hits. 24 games. So he's ahead of pace right now. He's projected 166. Eloy, bang it. Kershaw, he's not. I mean, as long as he's not striking out like 10 or 11 guys in his next few starts, we should be in the money here. And Yordan Alvarez, this was the square that nobody liked. None. And look at us now. Marcus Semien is just, I love you, Marcus Semien. I love you. I love you. I love you. And Shohei Ohtani. I mean, insanity. Insanity. Kitch picks. Get me fired up for Vladdy tonight. That's the thing about Ken Waldichuk and just betting against the Blue Jays right now. All I am doing is watching Vladdy locked. I'm just locked in on Vladdy. I'm absolutely locked in on Vladdy. Larry Beeman just gifted a tier 1 sub. Had a baby. Had a baby. Thank you, my friend. So we don't got anyone in queue yet, right? Yeah, we got about 3 minutes. I don't mind the Padres. I don't. But again, it's September. Do you want to bet on the Padres? Like, is that what you want to do with your night? It's a beautiful Tuesday. Do we want to bet on the Padres? I think they win. I want to be clear. I think they win. But is that what we want to do with our money? We work hard for our money. You go to work, you come back with your paycheck, and that's what you want to put on the Padres? I mean, I am betting on the Royals, so who the hell knows? Cali wager. Oh. Dang it, we got. Hold on. Cali wager, we got a little bit of feedback once again. No beard. No beard for the wager. Look at that young man. Let's get to the picks, and I'm just going to shut the hell up because the feedback's so bad. But look at that young man right there. Talk to us.
Yeah, we went September, little shave. We've been at the beach all weekend, so I figure we'll get a little vitamin D on there for once. But yeah, another fun weekend. I know you dove into college football. It was another wild one. It was a fun one. 5 days of football, and we're back. So NFL kicks off for us this weekend, like you, and we're deep into college, just like KBO. 7-day KBO week with Sunday night having a game. So sleep is for the weary these days. But yeah, I got 3 games today. Try to be on every day this week. Obviously with the show, we'll be on as much as you can with the scheduling being all over the place with MLB too. It makes it interesting. But yeah, 3 games today. So first things first, Astros Rangers going a little bit against where I felt like my trend was. I'm taking the over in this game. I feel like at a certain point, both these offenses get theirs. I like what I've seen over the last 6 weeks in the Rangers team. It's been ups and downs, but both these teams are competing. Both these teams are competing, against each other. Wild card is right there. They're 2 game separation in terms of the win column. And the wild card is going to be fun this year. Ton of variety on who is in it and how many teams are battling for it right now. It's a little bit of every style of baseball right now. So I do like this one to find a way to get itself over. Valdez, he hasn't done me that well this year. I feel like his few really poor starts have been when I've been on him. And honestly, me to 9, when I look at it, doesn't seem outrageous. Even a 5-4 game where we come out with a push doesn't seem wild to me in the slightest. 6-3 doesn't seem crazy. 6-4 seems very realistic. And I mean, we know what happens if any of these games find a way to get to extra innings. So I feel like it still was just a little bit too low. And I think we find a way for both of these teams to get over in what is, a playoff series, basically.
Hell yeah. I was leaning towards this as well. You got Eovaldi coming off an injury, and you got Framber, who just has struggled, right? And especially on the road. And the Rangers have kind of beaten the piss out of him before. And then the thing is, like, why I was leaning towards this over anyway. I mean, the Rangers bullpen just seems to blow it every single time they go out there, too. I kind of like the Astros in this one, just because I think they kind of outlast them. My only issue is I don't know what Eovaldi is going to look like. That's why I was just like he could shove, he could get blown up. I really couldn't get a read on that one. But I think if you're going to make a play in this game, because let's say Eovaldi does pitch well, right? There's no guarantee Framber will. And then maybe Eovaldi goes 5 innings and then the Rangers bullpen comes in. Like, I think there's a lot of different ways that you can attack this game. I like the over. My only hesitancy and why I didn't play it, I hate playing an over in a divisional game after a 13-6 game. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I do see that side of it for sure. And yeah, like you said as well, it just seems like there's too many ways for this to get to that number. Even if both these guys pitch decently, quality starts to me is the most ridiculous stat there is coming from a pitcher. It doesn't make you feel better that you have 15 quality starts this season. You could be 0-15. It's like, it just that stat to me as a former guy just that makes me laugh. But I think both these offenses, we know that they're both capable of doing it on a nightly basis. Like you said, Eovaldi will be on a pitch count regardless. We'll get into that bullpen. So matter of what we get out of there. And this one could get over quick. We've seen this happen before. I know last week you talked about Houston in a game you laid off, and boom, it was third or fourth inning, and we'd already gotten there on their own. So if it's going to happen, it can happen quick. But if not, we know it can get there late with these bullpens.
Pick number 2.
Next game up, I am taking the Minnesota Twins. And another really fun playoff-like series. Both these teams battling, both these two competing. I've really been a Sonny Gray fan this year. I've enjoyed what he's been continuing to do. And, BB's had great numbers. He really has, but he has struggled a bit against this Twins team. Another opportunity for them. I wish the number was a little bit better, but I do still think that that Gray has a strong enough start. I think that this Twins offense has done pretty well against BB this year. They just saw him recently, so there definitely is some validity to what has been going on with them in terms of what we just saw. They're getting depth and more than anything, you look at tape, it's one thing. Getting it with your own eyes is huge when you get to see a guy, arm slot, everything he's got to offer, and getting to see it, multiple times in a fairly short period is big. So I think that they can benefit from this, even playing in Cleveland.
Well, unfortunately, this is a loser because I'm on the Guardians. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I think you make some good points, right? I think Sonny Gray has been the better pitcher this year. I'm surprised that you're on the Twins here because I think you're really good at seeing momentum. And maybe we're just disagreeing on who has the momentum right now because the Twins, right? 20-6 win. They kicked the Guardians in the teeth. In my opinion, I think that's a game where Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan, Jimenez, the Guardians guys, they get on a little step stool because they're all kind of shorter. And they speak up to the team and we're like, guys, we have to win tomorrow. Like, we cannot let a division rival get to us like that. Tanner Bibby's been better at home. Gray's been worse on the road. Gray's been a little bit sketchy against lefties. Guardians lineup full of them. Bibby's been sketchy against righties. Twins lineup is still full of lefties. I think the Guardians have the bullpen advantage. After a kick in the mouth, I'm taking the plus price on the home team to bounce back here. But again, there's a reason why these lines are so close. It's going to be a great game. And for all those listening out there, I'm on Guardians. He's on Twins. Kind of whoever's pitch you like better, that's what I'd recommend tailing. But I think both of us, regardless of the outcome, this game is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and this is a game where, if you listen to it, this could be a layoff game because you hear completely different sides of it. Or if you have a certain reason you like a team, it's you're either agreeing with me or you think I'm an idiot. So that's kind of the joy of MLB is you could be a fool one day and a genius the next day. We know how these things happen so quickly. The worst team in the league still going to win. I used to say 60 games, but now I got to question even that. So, but yeah, I think that's validity on both sides of this. Like you said, it really is basically a coin flip game with what is another playoff like series.
Play number 3.
Last game of the day, you talk about momentum, and I'm riding momentum. Cubs 12-5 in their last 17, 7-3 in their last 10. I like them today against my Giants, and I'm proud of what the Giants have done again this year. It's not the sexiest team in the world, but I like what they've been able to do so far. I think playing in Chicago, I think with the momentum the Cubs have going, I like them tonight. The offense has been doing a little bit better. And like I said, momentum has been a huge thing. They win last night 5-0, and I think that carries over into today. I just feel like right now, my faith in the Giants is as questionable as it's been. That offense, ups and downs, and when you don't have a lot of stars, that's just what's going to happen. They put so much pressure on that pitching staff, which has to be the rock for them. And they've been pleasantly surprised at times with this offense and production, but long term, it's tough to continue against quality pitching every single night. So taking the Cubs tonight, I think that they're in a real good spot playing at home.
You know what I found interesting about this game is the total is so high because I think there's some projected winds blowing out too. And it's funny, if you want to back the Cubs on a windy day, Hendricks is an interesting pitcher because he's pitched there so many times with the wind, so he knows how to operate there. But with a Giants bullpen game, I'm interested to see how they work that. Is it going to be Minaya? Is it going to be Alex Wood? Like, how are they going to go? Like, another game that, personally for me, I'm glad that you talked about it. I couldn't get a read on this game. It's generally tough for me to read Giants bullpen games, right? Overall, I've bet on it a couple times, done fine, but usually when I see it against a pitcher who I respect, two teams going at each other, I just kind of stay away because I'm like, I don't want to. It's a lot to cap, but you're a Giants fan and you're against them today. Are you, and I'm always curious, when a fan of a team is betting against, are you fading the Giants or are you more, I have a lot of confidence in the Cubs and I'm tailing the Cubs?
A little bit of both. Like I talked about, I worry with this Giants offense. Coming off the shutout yesterday too is a little bit worrisome to say the least. But at the same time, like I said right off the bat, is I really do like what the Cubs are doing. They're playing really good baseball. They took that series against the Brewers. They took a series against the Reds. They're playing well. It is a home field advantage. The Cubs are the Cubs. The Giants obviously travel well, but like you said as well, when it comes to pitching staffs, especially with windy days, especially on the road, I mean, honestly, the last thing I want is more guys out there. Not everybody's going to have the perfect feel. Not everybody's going to be as comfortable as you are at home. Those little things that aren't such a big deal become a bigger deal on the road. So something that can be so much as, one little misstep that you don't feel good about, you then start questioning the next one, or you don't feel as good in the bullpen or whatever it may be. You don't sleep as well in the hotel room, or, just playing on the road always has little question marks, especially when you're going to have five or six dudes out there today, most likely. So definite question marks in terms of that, and big worries with that Giants offense or lack thereof.
Absolutely, Kylie Wager. Well, we got about 2 minutes before someone else hops in. Actually, Producer Cohen just said 6 minutes. Any leans for Thursday night football between the Chiefs and the Lions? I haven't locked anything in yet. I more just want to talk through the game and see kind of where your head's at.
Yeah, the Kelsey news obviously throws things for a big loop. You worry how much that's going to influence things. He's been, the go-to guy for Mahomes for so long. I've got pretty high expectations, like a lot of people do with the Lions this year. I think they improve. I think Goff's better. I think that, they've got pieces in place after what's been an abysmal, decade for them. But it's, it's hard to think right now a way that, Mahomes' biggest check down is always going to be Kelsey. However, you look at each year, they're losing more and more talent. They get rid of Tyreek Hill, they get rid of a couple other guys as they've gone, and that's great. You have Mahomes, but he's only one guy. With the Kelsey news, it does make me definitely lean the Lions. I don't have a play on it. I hadn't put anything out quite yet. I was actually diving into to college football already today, so I haven't gotten through it all. But I mean, we look at what is it right now? It's sitting at. We look at Thursday. It's sitting at 5.5 right now for the Lions. I don't hate that. I mean, it's 2-1 right now. It's plus 200 on the money line for them. I kind of lean the under 53.5. I mean, you got to figure there's a huge check down guy that's going to be out of the way. And I mean, how many times is Kelsey finding? You're going to make money, don't you bet Kelsey touchdown? Yes, every single week, basically. I mean, it doesn't matter what the odds were. It was like Alabama first half for quite a while there. You just guarantee yourself money and put that in first. So I kind of lean the under 53.5. Week one, a lot of things going on. Fairly big offseason for the Chiefs, and big expectations for the Lions. That injury news is big. That's in the back of a lot of people's minds. A lot of reasons. The more I look at it and I talk about it, before I've given my whole breakdown or any of my own stuff, I do lean the under 53.5 in this.
I lean the under as well. I'm still trying to decide because, 5.5 is interesting because I thought to myself when it was at 6.5, right before the Kelsey news, that I would tease the Chiefs down and take, the Browns, right? Tease them up to 8.5, or the Titans tease them up to 9 or whatever they are, or you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I think my most confident pick in this game is just I think the Chiefs are going to win. And I know that is so like regular and stupid and square and whatever. But like I think the Lions cover, but at the same time, like I remember so clearly thinking the Cardinals had a chance last season against the Chiefs. I didn't bet the Cardinals, but that was my lean. Chiefs just steamrolled them. You got a whole offseason of Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes. Like they come out, like we always talk about in the Super Bowl, right? You give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare for a team he's going to win, and then they ended up winning the Super Bowl. Like an entire offseason with that offense, like I know Kelsey isn't in there. And maybe the Lions cover, but I can't see Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead not coming away with a win. But at 5.5, then you're teasing through 0. There's a lot of math there. But I got to say, I just think the Chiefs are going to win. And then I'd rather tease a dog that I like in week 1 on Sunday up. That's what I'm kind of currently feeling in the Chiefs game. But I haven't locked anything in yet. That's just my current mind breaking it down. What do you think about that?
People that talk about teasing through 0 too didn't used to always realize that, I mean, you finish in a tie, you're losing. So, I mean, it's not always the worst thing getting the plus half if you were going to tease it across, you know what I mean? With things like that back in the day. So I don't hate it. I'd maybe look at the other side of it and look at teasing Detroit up. I mean, if you could get, I don't really foresee this line going down much more. I feel like if anything, public money will eventually come back on the Chiefs. But I mean, or I could be completely wrong and everybody's blind and just fires away at the Lions with the Kelsey news. But, if you could get this thing to, almost 12.5, 13, somewhere near that as you get closer and closer, tease that with maybe the under and get it up to almost 60. That's something to look at. I mean, or I'll say it now. My strongest play of the day will be something teased with the Steelers plus 9, let's just say. So I feel like Steelers plus 9 mixed in there with whatever you may be doing. I've got a couple things already, but I think that might not be the worst idea either. So, I mean, and hey, you could always tease both sides and try to middle. There's always the joy of that, is finding that 6 point to 13 point difference. That's, something that kind of my VIP's done for a while, is really really achieved finding that success in getting a number early, teasing it late, and then getting, even sometimes like up to 10 points of value between the two. So something to think about, but everybody attacks differently. So
Cali Wager, appreciate the time per usual. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, my friend?
Good Tuesday. See you guys later. Take care.
Mid-major, Matt. Are you wearing an arm sleeve?
Why not?
What do you need an arm sleeve for?
So I am of a darker skin tone, and the arm sleeve helps define the forearm muscles because it's tight. So it helps show the ridges in the forearm workouts that I do. So
you are such a loser in life, but in baseball. Can you flash that leaderboard for us, producer Cohen? Show my guy mid-major Matt in third place. Kid wins baseball bets. Has no idea how to dress.
Yeah, the kid has a neutral skin tone, and Peter has no idea what the fuck a skin tone is. But but here we are. I'm gonna hit my 100th win today on stream. The only person on stream to do so, because Peter Apple, the host of this show, has no idea what he's doing, and he is deep in piss.
I've won 3 in a row. Please respect me.
At one point, Krabs won 3 in a row as well, and that guy, look at him.
Why don't you just give the picks and shut the hell up? Pittsburgh, total.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh yesterday, they definitely got to Corbin Burns. They touched him up for, I think, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, I believe. Didn't do shit after against Bruce Wilson and Hobie Milner. It was the third time that... Go ahead.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, sorry. It was the third time that the Pirates are seeing Burns this year, and they've improved on their aspects of cutting the cutter specifically. They got to him, it showed. I do not think... So they've seen Brandon Woodruff once this year. That was when he was limited, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and yet after their performance yesterday, after getting the Corbin Burns, after they get that fat dog money, they're at a steeper price today, or the Brewers are a bigger favorite today, with a more unknown pitcher, if you would, in Brandon Woodruff, because who knows how deep he's going to go into games at this point. And after losing with their ace on the mound, they have a higher price. So I think that fastball, especially considering that he's the second lowest odds to be the highest K leader on the board today, I think they don't do much at all today. It was a great matchup for the Pirates bats yesterday, and how frequent they've seen Burns this year, and that's just not the case with Woodruff. He's been on a roll lately, and I think he just absolutely whiffs a bunch of those Pirates bats today. And after him, they still have Strzelecki, fucking Piamps, and Williams, who have yet to see action in the last 2 days. So I like what they have behind him as well.
I think it's a good play. I've talked a lot about the Pirates and their good matchups versus their bad matchups. Mm-hmm. Dudes with just 4-seamers up in the zone with hammers, they tend to struggle with. So, like, Burns is not like that, right? He's cutters. He's all these different pitches. They can hit sometimes some soft stuff. They're better against, like, the Bryce Elders of the world. But against when guys are just humming it up there, like we saw against Cole Reagans too. Like, that's the matchup where you want to fade the hell out of the Pirates.
97 highs.
Lefties can't touch it. So
97 high cheese. Show me you can hit it. Just prove to me I'm wrong.
Because that's it for the first one. If they go over this against Woodruff, you didn't lose this bet. Brandon Woodruff pitched bad. It's kind of like when you fade Wainwright.
It's like definitely never my fault. No. It's definitely never my fault I lose a bet.
Yeah.
And if I do so, I'll just put a hook on Twitter so it doesn't look as bad.
And then an explanation being like why it didn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it justifies it to all my VIP Dub Club followers that it makes them feel better. So
does it? I think it makes people pissed off. Whenever I complain about anything, it's like, we don't need the excuses. Like, okay, sorry.
I mean, just trying to be a person in today's world is pretty tough, Peter.
It's pretty tough.
And to be a white male, I mean, I feel for you, buddy. Trust me, I know.
Just shut the hell up. Play it over 2.
What is this one? Yeah. So this is a short price for the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Strzelecki ain't been on the Brewers since the deadline.
I mean, if they get 4 fucking runs against Elvis Peguero, I mean, I'll pay money for it, but I don't think they do, regardless.
Miami Dodgers, first 5 under 4.
Short line for the Dodgers, eh? I mean, minus 155, minus 140 with Kershaw, who's allowed one earned run in the last 20 innings he's pitched. Again, they've all been 3, 4, 5 innings outings. A little bit short against the Marlins, who have been pretty piss poor offensively. And I think that's all due to Jesus Luzardo. Do I think the bats can keep up with, can hit off of Kershaw? I do not. But what I do think is happening is Luzardo, who found a really rough stretch in the middle of the season, as do most young pitchers, just like Mitch Keller did, he's starting to find that groove again. He's been getting barreled hard, Luzardo has. But with all the money in the Dodgers and that line coming down a little bit, it's telling me that slider's going to be on point today, and he's going to get a lot of those barrels to just turn into whiffs. So I like that. I love Kershaw. I mean, again, the Marlins offense is just dead. They got hot start of the season. They just do not do anything well at this moment. They don't hit the fastball. They do not hit the slider. They hit a curveball decently, but if Kershaw has any feeling for that slider today, I don't think they touch much off of him. So I like this play quite a bit.
I think Kershaw is going to pitch really well. I am a little bit nervous about Luzardo. This
Absolutely
seems like a matchup where the Dodgers can really hit him, but the way I think you're going to hit this, you know why I think you're going to hit this? I think it ends 3-0. I think it ends 3-0 Dodgers. I kind of want to square up on the Dodgers tonight because
I do, but that line just, it's got to make you feel a little whatever.
I can't do it. I'm just saying I want to, but I'm not going
and
to,
definitely,
but I want to.
I know he's soared over his fantasy score, but for a home dog who's not expected to go, 16, 17 pitching outs, so he's not expected to get a quality start. He's definitely not expected to get a win with those odds. His fantasy score's at 29.5, which is pretty high if you only considering he goes 5 innings. So striking out, and I don't think it allows that many earned runs. So I definitely want to take the Dodgers' first 5. I think they win, but I don't want to pay the price, and I think this is a better value play, a better way to play it, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Play number 3.
The price. Detroit. Yeah, I think the Yankees, I'm buying into them. I'll post on Twitter eventually. I put $100 on them to make the playoffs. I'm just buying in. I know you're a Yankee fan. I know their starting pitching is just up in the air. But this team I think, sweeping a road series at the AL favorite odds to win in the Astros. I think that means something to them. And I find it funny that Krabs was pissing all over Aaron Judge today because he enjoyed his life and he went to a tennis match on one of his days off. I mean, fuck me if I can't do anything on my day off. But
no,
I enjoy
Krabs is that was a bitter old man take. I mean, that was something that you hear on like WFAN in the mornings when only the elderly is up and you got Don LaGreca's dad on the mic and be like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, that was an old man take.
I mean, I get it. He hates the Yankees, as do most people in the world. But what I saw was Kenyon Middleton, the best reliever on the Yankees, by the way, at the moment, regardless of what Peter Apple has to say.
No, I have said that. How many times have you asked who's the best reliever on the Yankees, Peter? I say Kenyon Middleton every time.
But I saw Kenyon Middleton and Aaron Judge just having a good time. Just two guys hanging out and not feeling the stress that they've been pressured with all season. And when you play with stress, you don't perform well. But when you play relaxed and comfortable, you perform better. And I think what the matchup looks today is, obviously Garrett Cole has his issues with home runs, and the Detroit Bats actually have performed pretty well in hitting home runs and hard hit percentage and all that shit. That looks like a bad matchup for the Yankees, for Garrett Cole specifically today. Don't care. I know he just pitched up against them his last start. In that series, the Tigers scored 9 runs in their 36 innings. So they're averaging 2.5 earned runs a start. If for some reason that doesn't go, if they perform better so today than Garrett Cole at home, I'll eat it. But I think Garrett Cole absolutely pitches beautifully today. I think he whiffs a fuck ton of those Tigers bats, and I think he gets back in the AL Cy Young talk. I know it looks like an overplay in my opinion with how much the Yankees should get to Faedo and how many home runs could be let up by Cole today. I don't buy into it. That's what everyone's buying into. I'll back Cole to pitch beautifully, and this is the way I want to back him.
More than fair. Padres money line. Wow.
Michael Lorenzen threw a no-hitter not 4 or 5 weeks ago. He has gotten a quality start in the last 6 of his 8 starts, and he's a dog against Pedro Avila, who no one knows anything about. Anything people that aren't involved with just baseball, because you guys are fuck nuts and you know every name ever. But no one knows Pedro Avila. He's a reliever. He's starting today. He's looked well. He's looked good. He's looked bad. And yet they're a dog after allowing 9 earned runs with Rich Hill, and after having Michael Lorenzen on the bump, who has been a quality pitcher, who was an all-star this year. And they're a dog. And the line's moving the other way. If you want to talk matchups, Lorenzen throws the fastball, slider, and changeup. The Padres have absolutely demolished the slider and changeup lately. So anything after that, his put away pitch that Lorenzen tries to throw, I think the Padres just eat him up alive. Same time, if you look at the bullpens, the Padres bullpen is not great, but they did not use some of their better arms yesterday. Kimbrel threw near 30 pitches yesterday for the Phillies. Soto threw near 30 pitches yesterday for the Phillies. And then who's the other flamethrower they have? Alvarado? Yeah, I think he threw also near another 30 pitches yesterday. I don't expect him to be available. So if I'm expecting, which I do, Mike Lorenzen to get touched up quite a bit, I don't think what the Phillies throwing behind him is going to be anything of quality. I really don't.
Yeah, no way the Padres sell you, huh?
Absolutely not. No one. I mean, of course we've all lost a fuck ton of money on the Padres because how much money they're paying for their offense is just pitiful for their lack of results. But I'll do it again today. Who's trying to bet against the Phillies at this moment? The hottest offense in baseball.
No, I like the play actually. I was thinking about playing it, but I was like, I worked too damn hard for my money to put it on the Padres.
As do I, and you know I'm willing to be stubborn enough to throw it on them one more time, and we'll see what happens, brother.
More than fair. We got Astros.
Last one, yeah. The Rangers are dead, Peter. I called them the best team in the league, and I don't think they've won a game since. They're dead. Their starting pitching is regressing, as we all knew, or as we all expected early in the season. Their bullpen is just awful, Peter. It's just god awful. We saw Spores let up 6 earned runs without recording out yesterday. We saw Martin Perez come in. They cannot get quality starts. They cannot get length. They cannot do anything with that pitching staff. They're scoring 6 runs a game, and they're losing. The Astros are going to hit the fuck out of Eovaldi today. He's coming back from injury, so they're not going to stretch him. So he maybe goes 5 innings, and I still think that they just mash him up. We saw his last start. I know Javon had a great read on it, and Framber is a terrible matchup for the Rangers. He got lit up for, I think, 6 or 7 earned runs in like 3.2 innings. And yet his odds and his lines look today like he's going to have a decent start. A great start? Absolutely not. But he can let up 6 earned runs again, and I still feel comfortable with the Astros. Because after Eovaldi, if they only get 2 off of him, the worst bullpen in the league over the last 2 weeks in slug percent, WOBA, and average, or in hard hit percent, and in extra bases allowed in the Texas Rangers is coming up after them. We get at least four innings out of them. I love it. The Rangers have allowed the most home runs in the last 2 weeks by far out of any bullpen. I'm expecting more of that today. The Astros have found their groove yesterday against a shitty bullpen, and they've seen a lot of that shitty bullpen again today. Love the Astros to absolutely rake.
I think they're dead. I love the card. I think
they're dead. Rangers are dead. Buying the Yankee stock. As stubborn as that is, it's just how I'm viewing the board. Peter, if you told me in 50 of these exact same scenarios of where the Yankees are, do you not think they make the playoffs one time?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yeah, I do. If you say no, that's okay.
No.
Okay. I do not think that way. I think I see value in this exact scenario that they play the AL East like 15 or 18 games in the last 20-something, and they have a pretty easy schedule outside of that. And the AL East is going to be awful. It's just going to beat up each other at the end of the year. And the Rangers are dead, which I don't expect them to be any threat to the Yankees. I see value in a 50-1 ticket, so I'm buying them. And the Astros are winning the AL West.
I like it. I got 1.5 units on the Astros to win that division. So I'm hoping to return some coin home. Yankees, I don't know, might be a donation, but we'll see.
It's probably a donation.
Imagine, I would absolutely love it. That would be my favorite bet in the world if that hit.
Yeah. If it hits, I'll give out 5 subs to the channel after it hits.
After it hits. What if it doesn't?
It hits.
2?
That's not even the scenario that I'm thinking about.
What if it doesn't hit? 2 subs?
If it doesn't hit, I'll give 10 subs.
W mid-major. Well, mid-major, we got to move on to Colby, but
yeah, get me out of here,
friend. All right, we'll talk.
See you, brother.
Colby Olsen was on a heater, and then he dropped a couple of units on Friday. You're going to get it back.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You can't go
It happens.
2-0 every day.
You can't go 2-0 every day.
It
But
happens.
you can
and
today.
It just so happens that I go
Wow.
0-2 on a day where I like really came fucking strong with my pitches.
The pitches were gorgeous.
It's gambling, man. You can't predict it right every time.
It's gambling. I'm
But I got
slamming
2
the
more
Padres.
pitches today. Should be fun.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm slamming the Padres, and if not, I'm sending a mean DM to Matt. Larry, I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. Colby, talk to me. What do we got?
Yeah, we got 2 plays, brother. We got 2 plays. And I think both of these are pretty good spots. The trend of me on this show a lot of times is I'm looking this late in the season, I'm looking for guys that have either outperformed their expected metrics or massively underperformed their expected metrics as of late. In the
Pandemic. Thank you. Continue.
So today, White Sox Royals first 5 under, 4.5. And this number's low, man. Like it's Dylan Cease versus Brady Singer, and you've got to be like, oh crap, how is this not at 5? 4.5, -110. And the reason is you have 2 really, really bad offenses against right-handed pitching. Royals have been, about league average. Since July 1st, they have a 93 WRC plus against right-handed pitching, which fine, that's whatever. The White Sox have been insanely bad. They have a 79 WRC plus against right-handed pitching since July 1st. That ranks, I think, 4th worst. I know it's bottom 5. I think it's
26th out of 30.
Yeah, sure. Now, to the pitchers, because I think yes, both offenses are bad. We can agree on that, but the pitchers are very important to this equation for the first 5, obviously. But both of these pitchers have been better as of late. Now, Dylan Cease, last 10 starts, Pete, he has a 3.82 FIP. He has a 31% hard hit rate and a 3% barrel rate. You want to guess where that 3% barrel rate lands him since June 1st or July 1st? Sorry,
got to be near the top.
The top. It is number 1. That is the lowest barrel rate in baseball. The hard hit rate is 7th lowest in baseball since July 1st, and a 3.82 FIP. Like he's been striking everybody out, hasn't been walking too many batters, and is giving up a ton of soft contact. You want to know what his ERA is in those 10 starts?
Tell me.
Just a guess. Come on, you got to guess.
How come on this show all I get from people is like guess the research? Like I'll say 3.5.
6.82.
Oh, that's not very good.
6.82 ERA in his last 10 starts. Like he's had multiple starts where he's given up 5, 6, 7.
Well, because the White Sox are horrible and they don't help him on defense at all. So that's like why like Aaron Nola's FIP is always lower. It's like, yeah, the Phillies defense does him no favors. The White Sox defense does him 0 favors. All that soft contact, like they can't field ground balls.
I refuse to believe that for a few reasons. One, he strikes out a shit ton of people. And guys, he's not striking out. Maybe he's walking, but he gives up fly balls. He's not a ground ball pitcher. So, like, you should be able to catch fly balls. So I think there's a lot of bad luck that Dylan Cease has gone through this season. And all of this data is definitely there to show that the old Dylan Cease, like Dylan Cease at the beginning of the season, was terrible. He was giving up near 50% hard hit rate, giving up barrel after barrel. But, like, if you're top in baseball in barrel rate and near the bottom in hard hit rate, I'm going to believe what you're putting up behind the scenes is real. And I think that shows up today against the Royals. But to move on to Brady Singer real quick, I think Brady Singer is the perfect pitcher to go against this White Sox team because, yeah, he's been solid last 8 starts for him, 3.88 ERA, 3.69 FIP, but most importantly, a 54% ground ball rate. And the White Sox have the 3rd highest ground ball rate against right-handed pitching this year. I think that he's just going to induce a ton of ground balls today, get enough whiffs to get through 5, 6 unscathed. But I think Cease just dominates, gives up 1 maybe, and then Singer, is usually good for a couple of runs. But I think this first 5 at least finishes 3-1, 2-1.
I got the Royals winning. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't think it's a bad spot to be on the Royals, man. I mean, like you have.
I'm not a Dylan Cease guy. I mean, like the barrel rate's fine. I think that's a good stat, but at the same time, like you said, his last 10 starts for a reason, not his last 5.
Well, it would be the same story. Like what I'm trying to paint here, Pete, is that despite him giving up a shit ton of runs, the underlying metrics have been fucking great. Like 3% barrel rate. Like he's just not giving him hard contact. I don't know how you couldn't be bought in.
I'm not bought in. Play number 2. I mean, I don't mind the play because I think Singer shoves. I just can't buy into Dylan Cease. I mean, prove me wrong, Dylan Cease. Prove me wrong.
I think
I just keep watching his starts, and I'm not seeing a 3% barrel rate. I'm seeing there's a lot of ground balls that go through the whole. All right,
let's move on. I don't need you eye testing me right now.
Let's move on. The cherry pick stats.
I don't need you eye testing.
Chicago Cubs versus San Francisco Giants, first 5 under 5.5.
Yeah, this was the first play today where I looked at. I'm like, yeah, this looks good. Like every time I see an opener now, too, I feel like people just don't even pay attention or look at who the actual guy is that's going to be pitching beyond the first inning. They're just like, Ryan Walker, who's that? He sucks. But yeah, I think the story of this game, Pete, is not on the pitchers and more so on both of these offenses, and they've both been very cold. The Cubs have a 92 WRC plus against lefties since July 1st. And yes, they're getting Ryan Walker in the first inning, but then they're getting Sean Manaea, who isn't great, 3.71 ERA and a 4.4 Sierra in the second half. He kind of is who he is for 3 to 4 innings. He's going to give up probably a couple runs, but I don't think he should be able to limit damage against a Cubs team that doesn't hit lefties well at all. But Kyle Hendricks, man, got to give him credit for really returning to form. A guy that struggled mightily last year. 2021 also really struggled. The worry was, is he ever going to get back to where he was in 2020, 2019? And he is. He has a 4.11 ERA and a 4.02 FIP in his last 10 starts, a 51% ground ball rate. He's getting ground balls at the highest rate since 2018. So he is really returning to form, and that's important for him when he's getting soft contact and those ground balls. And the Giants offense, we've lauded them on their ability to hit right-handed pitching, but they have the worst WRC plus in baseball against right-handed pitching since July 1st, 73 WRC plus. So combine that, I think that the Giants can kind of roll their way over into no runs today. So 5.5 is a lot of runs.
You worried about the wind?
No, I looked into the weather. It didn't look anything crazy. And I like that Kyle Hendricks puts the ball on the ground.
He's a good pitcher to back when it is windy.
Yeah, I mean, the weather report and the run report didn't look like there were going to be a million runs scoring today.
More than fair, Cole. Appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, brother.
To the Gen. Dylan C's about to get destroyed. Thanks. All right, peace. Oh, to Jen. Should we talk about Vladdy before we get into your picks?
Oh, does this correlate with your goat whale? Because
you seem very interested.
How can I not be?
I know.
How can I not be interested?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what you're doing. You're smart. You're a smart guy.
What do you mean?
You are shoving it in my face. I have no choice but to be interested.
Wait, Cohen, don't flash the graphic. He doesn't want to see it.
No, I've already told you. I give you credit. You've got me on board. I am curious now.
It's so fun. It's the most fun bet I've ever made. It's just all these guys, and I'm locked into Vladdy every single at bat to win $6,200. It's not even about the money. It's so much fun.
I love
the most
future
fun bet
bets.
I've ever made. Yeah,
I have one pending that's not going to hit. I have Eloy home runs and Julio Urias. We won't talk about that. But I love future bets. I'm a huge future guy, and it's fun to be invested and have skin in the game in every game. And in baseball, it's just about every day. Vladdy is a guy, though, who I've told you, I think he's gone full G-Man Choi. I don't know what his deal is.
I don't know if you've seen him lately. I don't know if you've seen him.
No, you're right. You're right. And I've tapped out completely. I've probably bet him to hit a home run 16 times, and he did it once, and that was fun. I'm off the Blue Jays. I'm off everything. I'm just done. I've tapped out. I've had enough. So I think we've got 25, 30 games left. I'm getting a little bit more selective with my plays. Obviously, football's on the brain, but because of this contest, I am going to continue to grind it out. I don't know what my actual record is at the moment, but I want to say I'm
still
probably
good. You're in the green, 1.42 units.
Oh, right. Well, I meant my personal record on the season, because sometimes I have more plays. I bet everything that I submit to this contest, and my units correlate and whatnot. I keep that accurate, but sometimes I have more plays and I think I'm even on the year, which sucks because I was doing very, very well. But
First
I'm
pick,
going to get
Blue Jays
I'm
team
gonna,
total over.
never again. Never again. So, but I'm going to give it basically what I'm getting at is I'm going to slow down personally on betting baseball, probably 2 or 3 plays a day, but I'm going to push it up a little bit more, turn it up, I should say. Who says push it up? Turn it up a little bit more into contest. So I've got a 2-unit play. Did I submit the Reds too, or did I just submitted this, didn't I?
Just submitted this one.
That's okay. That's okay. It's early. I'll be on tomorrow as well. Yeah, I had no idea Colby was on the under on the first 5. So I hate to come in here and I'm not a really cocky or arrogant guy, but Colby, that shit ain't hitting, bro. Under first 5. I like Colby a lot too. 5.5 runs. He said exactly what I wanted to hear. He said 5.5 is a lot of runs. I think 10.5/11, wherever this is now, is a fuck ton of runs. You know why it seems like even more runs, Peter? Because I played this stupid ass over yesterday, right before I went to the movies to see Oppenheimer, which was phenomenal. I played 2 units over 9 with Steele pitching, and I think it was Logan Webb or Cobb or something. Thought it was high, little suspicious, played the over, Cubs 5-0. So I got burned. You know how I roll. You know my system. I have pretty good success in totals. It's the best thing I am at betting in baseball. So I am just going right back to it, and I couldn't believe the number that I saw today. 11. Now, you pointed out recently, I want to say, probably within the last few weeks, that the weather in Wrigley plays a big factor in these numbers, and sometimes it's too sharp. It makes too much sense. I am not a guy that necessarily gets contrarian and fades the weather play, but I'm also not one of those guys that just blindly tails it. So I was a little bit nervous at first about the weather, but then I told myself, I was like, even if it's fucking 20-mile-an-hour winds, I'm not so sure I care. Now, to touch on what Colby said about the bullpen day, he makes a great point. I think if we were in game 60 of the season, I think, and maybe I'm wrong on this, and mid-major Matt might back me up, the Giants typically win games on their bullpen days. And I know from experience because I faded them with the D-backs team total over. I think that was a play I submitted in the stream for 2 units.
Team total
against
overs.
the bullpen day.
I think you'd be up 60 units if you never played a team.
Oh, don't even start with me. But my point is, I remember hearing that mid-major Matt had come on and said the Giants were 19-9 on their bullpen days. That was weeks ago. I don't know what it is now, but their bullpen games, they tend to do pretty well. So I'm not focusing too much on who they're throwing out, but I'm also not in the I guess the group of people that might say, "Oh, I'm fading a bullpen day." I don't think it works like that with the Giants. And then Kyle Hendricks, I'm a Kyle Hendricks guy. I think I got burned on a first 5 under with him. Oh no, it came through against the Pirates. He allowed 2 in the first inning and then nothing after. But man, this number just seems so fucking high to me. Bend don't break. High number. The read is still there for me. I'm not going to increase my units. Like I said, I played it 2 units yesterday. I'm not going to martingale it and try to get cute and go 4 or anything like that. I'm just going to try to get my units back from yesterday with 2. I think I got it -105, which I don't necessarily like, but I think it's moved back if I'm not mistaken.
Bruce Cohn, you want to give us a quick check on that? While producer Cohn is checking, I have to pick your brain for about a minute or two. -110 towards the over. So you got a 5-cent adjustment going your way.
All right. I like that.
Travis Kelce being out makes me want to take the Chiefs.
I couldn't hear the last part. Travis Kelce being out.
Travis Kelce being out. I had to say it quietly because I haven't placed anything yet, and every sharp I know is on the Lions. I want to take.
You want
the
to know
Chiefs.
what I'm going to tell you?
Buy the bad news.
Buy the bad news. Because not only do we have Travis Kelce out, we've got Chris Jones out.
Am I being stupid by wanting to tease the Chiefs down to a pick and then tease an underdog that I like on Sunday up?
Peter,
you're going to tell me you don't like teasers.
Are you stupid for teasing Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to win a home game after an entire offseason? No, that's not.
I cannot imagine they lose this game. I don't know who's going to cover, but I just cannot imagine Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead with an entire offseason to prepare. They lose the game. I can't fathom it.
You know why I'm not playing it? and I don't have any data to back this up, but just something for me is I never bet on the Super Bowl or any sport, any championship winning team in the first game of the season of their home game when they have their ceremony. It's just too much emotion. They could be a little bit sidetracked. And also, you have to imagine a guy like Dan Campbell who kept the Packers out of the playoffs last year when they had nothing to play for.
I know.
You know they're going to get those guys. Those guys are going to be hungry to fucking spoil that party. I respect Dan Campbell too much. Jahmyr Gibbs is the only guy I'm invested in between these two teams for my offensive rookie of the year. Maybe I'll take him to score a touchdown. I don't know. But yes, I would buy the bad news, buy low essentially if you get it down. I think it's down to like 4.5.
No way. I'm seeing 5.5. But yeah.
Oh, is it 5.5?
Yeah, the line dropped.
Yeah. I want to. I think teasing it would be or just like a 2-team parlay with the Chiefs on the money line and something else. Whatever you prefer is fine.
All right, my friend. We'll be talking tomorrow too because we're going to start revving up the football talk along with the baseball talk. But until tomorrow, to Jen, good luck on the over. You versus Colby.
Thank you.
One of yours ain't hitting.
That's okay. That's fine with me. I like that. One of us wins.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks,
all right.
man. Take it easy.
You too. Who we got in queue? Is that Gino? Is that Gino I see in queue? Gino. We got, of course you're muted. Come on.
Why do you guys have some like settings here where it goes? I go from unmuted to muted when you let me in. Don't make me seem older than I am.
You don't look old. You got the chain. You got the backwards hat. You're in studio today.
I'm in studio. That's Maddie back there.
Maddie Betts, what's up, brother?
DD's about to be cooking in like 30 minutes, but I wanted to sneak some money in here, dude. I lost 4 units on this show last week.
Good thing is we're here to make it back today. And another good thing is, Bruce Cohen, can you flash the leaderboard for a second? Let's show the people. Even after down 4 units, our guy Gino is still up 4.7 on the season. I think your worst day on stream was on Friday.
It was. Not proud of it. I'm not proud of my NCAA football this weekend either. I basically lost a unit or so, just a lot of splits, but not reading the board right now, and I'm hoping to turn it around.
Let's fucking do it.
I fed you a couple of plays that I'm excited about. This is simple.
We got 2 from you.
Oh, that's it?
I think that was all that was in your excerpt.
Really? Is Miami?
We'll take another look. Miami's in there. Okay, Miami's in there.
Cincinnati first 5 plus a half. You guys, they're home. Worst pitcher. Not an easy ballpark for people to pitch in. I know it's weird to take the worst pitcher, but I'm getting the home team plus a half a run. This is just a system that I love. Worst pitcher at home, and you're getting plus a half in the first 5. This is only 1 unit though. I'm trying to get my. I got to get 4 units back. So this is half that attempt. I love fading good pitchers in what is it called? American Little Ballpark, or I forget the
Great American Ballpark.
Great American Tiny Ballpark or something. It's just not a great place to be a pitcher. It's pretty much the opposite of my Giants ballpark. So anytime you can get a half a run on the home team at very low juice, you'll usually see that's a system that strikes from a half a unit to a unit for me.
Fair enough. We got play number 2.
I almost like Cincy in that game.
Oh yeah. So if this is our only, he definitely submitted Miami team total under. I sent it in our not gambling advice chat.
So good.
Yeah. So this is 2 of 3 plays, and
the
third is Miami.
There we go, and the Miami's the 2 unit, so that's
yep.
cool. And be careful, guys, not Miami. I'll talk about it. Oakland, Toronto here, first 5. So, oh man, the CLV I got on this is just beautiful. Now a little value lost, I get it, but that 4.5 is epic in this situation. I'm talking about like a 1-2 at most, hopefully like a 2-0 in these first 5. I see your face, Petey. Tell me which one you don't like. Which pitcher do you not trust tonight?
No, I wasn't giving you a face. I was just listening. I like someone was in chat being, they said, Ken Waldichuk up for 2.5 earned runs. You think it's sketchy? And I said, no, I think he'll be around 2, maybe 3 at the most. I actually kind of like him. And I know that the Blue Jays, they struggle from a power output standpoint against lefties. They can get their base hits, but they've been struggling to put the ball out of the ballpark. And in the Coliseum, it's going to be more increasingly tough. And I really wanted to fade Bassett today because I love going to war against Chris Bassett on the road because I think he's a garbage can at times. But the thing is, it is against the A's and he's returning there. This feels like a spot he actually pitches well. Like, I know Chris Bassett, or I feel like I think I do, because I'm always watching him just trying to fade him because I don't think he has good stuff at all. But in this spot, going back to Oakland against a team that is not well disciplined, this feels like a lineup that he can kind of dice through. So normally, Chris Bassett is on the mound. I'm not a fan, but in this spot, I actually do like this play.
And so that you just you said everything I was going to say in different words, but long story short, I don't buy into too much psychology because I think that's a way to get your ass handed to you. But a guy like Bassett, the Toronto they're a playoff team, in my opinion. This is a chance that he cannot blow this. If I'm talking about his career, like this is a chance you have to take advantage of. And I believe you're getting a generous line here because the statistics on these two pitchers is Garbo. So half a run to me is a lot in the first 5. And I actually have this at 3.5, and I would still bet it. Now, I wouldn't hammer it, and it wouldn't be minus 140, but I really do see a 2-1, 2-0 in the first 5 here. So I love the 4.5. That's why it's a unit and a half. And I'm going for a 3-0 sweep. So this is a chance where, guys, that if you're newer to betting, I love like terrible defenses and taking the under. I love the under against an amazing quarterback. Like, you just feel like you squeeze out a couple extra points that you don't deserve.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Let's go to play number 3.
Go to play of the day. Oh, man. So I got nothing but hate for Clayton Kershaw. I show him a lot of hate often. I think he shoves tonight. I think he absolutely shoves. I love this match versus, is it Luzardo? He's against Luzardo, right? Mm-hmm. Not that this bet doesn't matter, but I think Kershaw absolutely shoves today. He showed up on pretty much every EV indicator for the player props. Under on walks, over on Ks, over on outs. And the cheapest way I could find to get the most value was in this team total. I believe you even told me the team total at 2.5 was like
plus 135.
Yeah. And man, that was hard for me to pass up, right? Minus 140 plus 135. You're paying 75 for that run. But that's a very substantial run, 3.5 versus 2.5. So I could not feel better about a play. And I am big on this Miami team. Every day I check them on the futures. I think they're going to make a little run in the playoffs. First, they got to get there. But and they're coming off a sweep of Washington. And they put up runs. So this is, again, buying low, selling high. I'm selling Miami's offense fairly high versus against a stud pitcher. And I think the 3.5 is generous.
It's so funny the way you bet, and I love it, right? Because you're profitable long term. You're like, I'm buying Miami. I think they're going to make a little deep playoff run. They just came off a sweep. So guess what I'm doing? I'm fading their offense. Like, that is such a pretzel, but it works.
A 3-2 win today would just be like the perfect SF Giants dream for me. A Kershaw loss, 3-2 final. But I really do think you're getting a very generous half a run here, where 3 feels where this should be throwing the first pitch.
So we're still waiting for our next person to come in queue. We got a couple of minutes, so might as well pick your brain. I know you're about to record Disciplined Degens, your football podcast. You got to give us a little bit of insight. What are you feeling? Travis Kelce announced out. Chiefs, Lions, total down from 54 to 53. Spread from 6.5 to 5.5. Yep. My brain is in a pretzel, and I want to square up, and I want to tease the Chiefs down, but I am just not.
You can't tease at 5, though. Remember, you can't cross 0.
I know. It's like I lost that.
But giving you an asterisk, it opened up at 7.
That's what I was saying.
You would be. That's a good number. 6.5 to 7.5 is a decent. So this is tough for me, right? The Lions, I believe they have a lot of buy-in with their coach. The Lions are a team that a lot of people are buying into. I think you should wait. I actually think this. I think this will kick off at 4.5 to 4. Believe it or not, like people are gonna. Kelsey's a wide receiver 1, right? Do we all agree with that?
He's the best tight end in the league, bar none.
And man, even though I had the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl 1 year ago, I told them it was disrespectful. They were getting plus 700, I think it was. they're off the Super Bowl hangover this time. Or the previous year they were hungry. I do buy into that substantially. I don't know how serious these pro athletes take their training. I know it sounds crazy to say off a Super Bowl win versus Super Bowl loss. I wouldn't tease that, dude. This is where I'm not buying Detroit too heavy. I have the Green Bay Packers winning the North. I think they're third in that. They might even, they're third. The Bears are by far the fourth. I just don't like this game for points. If you told me that this hurts the Chiefs, they're flat, and Detroit bangs out a win, I'd be like, I heard you before, by the way, saying you cannot imagine the Chiefs winning. I always tell people whatever you can imagine losing. Yeah, whatever you can't imagine, bet. You'll make a lot of money. If the public cannot imagine the Chiefs loss, you'll make a lot of money. And furthermore, this was technically a hair of reverse line movement or a sharp bet on the Lions. There are more tickets prior to the Kelsey injury, guys. So you got to now throw all that out and look forward. But there were more tickets on the Chiefs money line, and the line did drop 24 points. It went from 235 on the Lions down to 205 prior to Kelsey. So, I hate to say this for you degens out there. I don't love this game. If this
was a Sunday game, I wouldn't bet it.
If I had to bet this game, guys, it's going to be over in the game. I think you're going to get a couple free points, like an over 51.5 at kickoff. Right now it's 52 or 53. Just wait. That'll come down. I'm not buying this Detroit defense. And I'll buy into Mahomes' ability to check down, to make things happen, even without a Kelsey. They're like plug and play offense, just like my Niners. So that long-winded answer I gave you, don't buy points on this game. Bet the over.
I think I like the under, Gino.
That's okay.
Fuck. This game.
If you like the under, bet it now.
I gotta let it.
53.
I know. I gotta let it.
I guarantee you 51.5 at kickoff. So
I gotta let
bet
it
it now. Don't wait an hour, a point and a half later.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you. We'll move on to Jake, aka Steam Hazen.
Later.
Talk to you in a minute. Peace.
See ya.
Jake, aka the Steam Chaser, we like to call him, because he has exited the lab and he just checks Steam reports and makes bets. And we'll see what he's got today. Who's the Steam report today?
I hit the lab yesterday, Peter.
Not a baby. Let's hit the lab then. A's money line.
I think I went home. Before I go off, dude, I just realized I forgot I went 0-4 on Friday. Holy fuck, dude. I got to give credit to Colby and Arm, dude. They just been grinding and, like, not counting craps. I might get last place if I fuck up today, Pete.
Don't fuck up today. Guess what you did? You said you don't want to fuck up, so you're taking the A's on the money line. Ken Waldy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm kind of just upset as a friend. You're not going to war with me on this, dude.
I looked into it more, and I'm like, yeah.
I understand, yeah. Homecoming.
But I think Waldichuk is going to pitch well. So I don't for example, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you were on the A's in that game against the Blue Jays where they won 6-5. But, like, that was a good pick. Like, they were in it that entire game, obviously, as big dogs. Yeah, went to extra innings, and then it's just some dipshit on the A's give up, like, 3. Yeah, it's just – but, like, I don't hate the play at all. This is where I would lean. It's just, like –
yeah, I feel like another thing on top of it too. Like I had the A's yesterday, right, and went to extras, and they even they allowed 3 runs in extras, and they brought it all the way to they.
And then they scored 2 in extras.
Yeah, they cover the run line though, but I feel like I may have been I gotta go back to him after that, dude. I just have to, and not only that, they kind of make sense today. They're WRC plus all this super high against lefties, but they have a trouble taking it out of the park, and that Oakland Coliseum is the hardest. It's the worst home run park in baseball, right? Or is it San Fran?
It could be T-Mobile too. All 3 of those. It's the West Coast. It's the West Coast big old parks where the air is a little bit thicker and it's tough to get it out.
Yeah. So I mean, Waldichuk. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna fucking promise a master class today, but he occasionally has some of those, kind of like Dean Kramer. He just randomly pops up at the master class. And I'm kind of just banking on it today, but a lot of it's going to be just kind of fading Bassett. I mean, this guy just kind of smells, dude. His stuff is all flat. His location's not even that good either.
I think he stinks, but he pitches well.
He's so bad, and like he doesn't even have good location either. Like he's just getting I don't. He's getting like soft contact somehow. I don't know how he does it, dude.
I agree with you. No, I know why. Because it's almost
So weird. It's so weird.
It's reverse psychology. It's like, oh, Bassett is so easy, and then you just flail under it, and Bassett's just like.
So I had that same issue in like Little League baseball. Like this kid, like
crap pitcher comes up, and he just
you can't fucking hit him, dude.
Because he is really smart, and he preys on your. But it's like he'll go 3 shutout, and then the guys get together in the dugout, and they're like, wait for him in the zone. Just wait.
Yeah, that's what the Cubs
3
did
runs.
that one game where
Yeah.
we were back in Jay Steele. Yeah, what's the next pick? It's enough on that.
Dodgers.
Ace overs. I forgot
Ace
who's
overs.
pitching in this game.
Kershaw.
It's
Oh, you're
Kershaw
so
and-
not locked. Kershaw Luzardo.
And Luzardo, Jesus Luzardo. I knew that. I had to give him seconds to think about it.
You're coming up with Jake MLB 31. You don't know who's pitching in a game you're picking. Can we be better than this? Can we?
You know what? I usually rebuttal, but I just gotta be better, Peter. I think it's
You
straight
gotta
up,
be better.
dude. After going 0-4 last Friday, I think I just fucking gotta be better, dude.
Got to be better. But tell me why you like the over, though, because this is interesting because you got Gino, his favorite play of the day is the team total under. You got, I think, mid-major on the first 5 under. So you're the only one that likes runs in this game who's come on stream so far.
Fucking Matt and Gina are kind of hot. I'm kind of scared. But it's like a system of mine. Like it's not concrete by any means, shape, and form. Like, but I just had a lot of success, and I can't tell you exactly how I'm hitting because I'm fucking lazy and don't feel like tracking it. So, but I can tell you I have been making some coin this year and betting when 2 really good pitchers face off against each other. It works even better when it's 2 bad offenses. But that fit well today for the Twins Guardians game. But I would never fade Tanner Bybee.
You can't fade him.
I just can't fade him, dude. And I won't. I'm not backing him today, but I can't ever fade that guy.
You're not taking the Guardians with me? Twins caught a little bit of steam. You should love the Guards today.
Dude, I'll book your action on Twins again, buddy, if you want to do that.
I'm already on the
Can
Guardians.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my screen's all lagging. But, back to the Dodgers game. Luzardo is, oh my God. Sorry, my phone just blew up. Luzardo is starting to hit his kind of innings limit, and I know he looked good his last start, but against this Dodgers lineup, just like, you always say, man, you're going to be flat against this lineup, especially after they just got embarrassed against Atlanta. Good luck.
I agree with you.
And for Kershaw,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, a lot of people like this under today. I want to square up and take the Dodgers like -1.5. I think they blow.
Dodgers might score 10.
Yeah, I think they blow up Luzardo.
Dodgers might score 10 today. I think it's probably more likely, which is probably why I don't know why I'm not on the Dodgers team total. I definitely should be, but I think it's more likely that the Dodgers cover this total themselves than both teams equaling the total. I think the Dodgers go nuts today, dude, and I probably should be going balls deep on their ladder and all that, but I'm just not going to do that because the Marlins, granted, they're not quite as elite as they used to be, but lefties are their better split. And Kershaw, he's fucking good, dude. But this is like the ace over here. It's a contrarian play. It's not supposed to really necessarily make sense, even though it still kind of does at the same time. And the Marlins bullpen has been ranked number 1 in xFIP and all these X stats for the whole season. Still just doesn't seem how they just can't prevent runs.
I agree with you. I've been telling people I like the Marlins bullpen, and they fail me every single time.
I was so bought in the Marlins bullpen this year, dude. I bet the Marlins make the playoffs preseason. So, I need them to fucking start figuring it out, dude.
Why not Dodgers first 5 money line?
See,
we always do get these questions, though. It's like, this is my plan. It's like, why not this? And I'm happy to answer those, but I think you think that the Marlins can get to Kershaw a little bit.
Yeah, I'm obviously more confident the Dodgers. It's the fucking LA Dodgers, dude. I'm way more confident they get to Luzardo than I am than Kershaw get to Miami. But I could see Miami's bats waking up this game too. I'm just not quite as confident as that. So just kind of have insurance for that. I'm just going to bet the full game over where I think the Dodgers can cover this total by themselves. But I also think that Luzardo can I think Luzardo can pitch decent and Kershaw can get hit up. So just to kind of play into it, just take the full game over.
More than fair. JK's
fair. And, yeah, bonus pick. Astros money line. I forgot to track it in here, but that's my bonus pick.
Bonus pick. We won't be able to track it for you, but you're on the Astros.
Bonus pick. Brand revenge game. You ready?
for Ember Revenge game. All right, Jake Hazen, Steam Master. Talk to you, all right?
I'm lacking so bad, dude. I'm head out. Peace.
All right, peace. We got a little bit of a break, don't we, Producer Cohen? Armin 10. Ladies and gentlemen, do we want an NFL future or we don't want one? Do we want one or no? Maybe it's too much for you guys. Is it too much? I need to hear some bangs in chat. Do we want it or not? I won't say it. I'll just keep it for me. You know? I'll just keep it for me. Do I see bangs? We want it? I only got one. We want it. Keep it. Yeah, JK's and log off. Log off. P2I Tail Guardians or what? I'm on them. All right, we got about 3 or 4 people. You know what? I might just keep it. No, you know what? I'm going to give it to you. Of course we want it. Let's talk. It's funny. I didn't come around to this bet until I was trying to find a winner of the NFC South between the Saints and the Falcons. I like both teams a lot, but I thought, why don't I just look into the Panthers? Not only did I figure out how bad the Panthers are going to be next year, they became one of my favorite picks to go under their win total. Now, this is also a bet on my confidence in both the Saints and the Falcons being very much improved. And when we're talking about in division, I think the Saints and the Falcons are going to roll through these Panthers. We'll go step by step. Let's talk coaching. The Panthers under Matt Rule got off to a really rough start last season. They went 1-4. They fired Matt Rule and brought in interim head coach Steve Wilks. The Panthers went on a 6-6 run, and everything I read about Wilks, he's a leader of men. Players absolutely loved him. What do the Panthers do? What do bad teams do? They make bad decisions. They fire Steve Wilks, and they hire Frank Reich, the head coach that was let go by the Colts and has never really done anything special besides lucking into an Andrew Luck-led Colts team. He started off successfully with Andrew Luck, then a bad year, then a freak year in 2020. He was great with no fans in the stands, finished 9-8 in 2021, and then was fired after a 3-5 start. This will be the worst roster he's ever had as a head coach, in my opinion. Now, Reich loves his old quarterbacks, whether that be Carson Wentz, whether that be Matt Ryan, whether that be Phillip Rivers. I'm excited to fade Frank Reich with a rookie quarterback that needs some coaching. You got Andrew Luck, who did not need a single second of coaching. And you almost got to follow the good teams, right? We say it all the time, right? Josh Donaldson gets DFA'd by the Yankees. Maybe he pops up and he's on the Dodgers next year. What do we all expect from Josh Donaldson? Much better production. Where does Steve Wilks get hired? San Francisco 49ers as their defensive coordinator. It's like bad teams. Can we stop making bad decisions? Offense. I'm not a big Bryce Young guy. I said it when we were talking about the NFL draft. I'm just not a big fan of his. I think he's the most NFL-ready quarterback in the draft. But personally, I would have drafted C.J. Stroud. I would have drafted Anthony Richardson. And we'll see how well that take ages. He's very small, doesn't have good arm strength, but he's very poised. He's very good in the pocket. And I think he's going to be okay this season because he's so accurate, right? But the Panthers did not surround him with talent enough to succeed, in my opinion. They go into the year with an average offensive line. They rank 16th in PFF's offensive line rankings. The left side is the weakness, right? Ekwonu is their left tackle, graded as slightly below average. Left guard Brady Christensen, graded as one of the worst guards in the league. So protecting the blind side is not a good recipe for success for a rookie quarterback. And the other guard, Austin Corbett, is on the PUP to start the year. The right side is above average, sort of. Not now with Corbett being gone, but when Corbett's healthy, they're above average. I think they'll finish in the 17 to 23rd ranks of offensive line. And the wide receiver room, below average. Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault. They have Jonathan Mingo, second round wide receiver out of Ole Miss. Hayden Hurst. Stop. Nice job trading DJ Moore. They added Miles Sanders, big name. He's not all that great and goes into the season a little bit banged up. He ran behind the best offensive line in football, and Reich is calling him a 3-down back. What? Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but he's never been a 3-down back. And he's more injury prone than the average starter in his entire career. They also have Chuba Hubbard. I think this offense finishes in the bottom 10 of the NFL as Bryce Young goes through growing pains with almost nobody to help him get through it. Defense finished in the bottom 10 in most metrics last season. They also didn't really add anyone of note. However, I will give them credit, right? They faced a really tough schedule of offenses last year. Now it projects to be closer to the average. I'm not going to call them a bottom 10 unit. Again, I'm a big Brian Burns guy. Love Brian Burns. I think he's awesome. But he had ankle surgery before the season. Should be good to go. But there's that. He's the highlight of the defense, and everything around him is okay. I like their new DC. They got him from the Denver Broncos, though. They're not going to win 2 games. I think they'll be fine. But different scheme coming in, right? They were a 4-3 last year. This year, they're more 3-4. I just think it's going to take a little bit of an adjustment. I don't think they have a great defense. I think they'll be an average defense this year. Overall outlook. This stat put me over the edge. Rookie quarterbacks don't often start hot. Since 2000, just 6 of the 22 quarterbacks drafted in the first 5 picks went on to have a 500 or better record in their first year. So since 2000, teams have gone over 7.5 wins at a 26.1% rate when they draft a quarterback in the first 5 picks. Makes sense, right? Rookie quarterback comes into a team who's drafting in the top 5. However, it's a bit skewed, right? Extra game added to the schedule. But we still have plenty of history on our side. The Colts and the Texans, they have a 6.5 win total. I think that's where the Panthers should be. I think we're getting a free win. That's why I put 2 units on the under 7.5. No more Frank Reich slander. Chris Ballard was pitching pennies. The Colts offensive line last year couldn't block anyone. Every other year, they were among league leaders. League leaders in what? Why'd the Colts fire him then? I don't think he's a good head coach. Burns is holding out. Do the Panthers have the worst coach in the NFC South? No. Todd Bowles is worse. Todd Bowles sucks for the Bucs. Sucks. I think he sucks. Dennis Allen is also a good one. But I think the Falcons and the Saints are going to be good. I couldn't really decide. And it's funny. The only reason I found this is because I was trying to pick between the Saints and the Falcons. I like both teams a lot. I'm a Derek Carr guy. I think the Saints, I think their overall team, while it is older. And I don't believe in Desmond Ridder, but I think the overall team on the Falcons is better. But I think the Saints with Derek Carr, I have more faith in them, and they just kept clashing in my head. So I just decided, you know what? I don't know who to pick, but let me just look at the Panthers. And I found out I hate this team. I'd argue Panthers have the best collective staff in the division. I can't agree with you on that. I mean, I would way rather be on the Falcons. Way rather. Their coaching staff is way better. We got someone in queue. Who we got? Who's that in queue? Is that Arm Lane?
Who do you think it is, baby?
Outside?
Outside.
Where the hell are you? Where the hell are you?
I had to get oxygen today. I had to. It was one of those days. We had Pitching Ninja on, and then we talked to Walker Bueller, and it was just like record, and then work, and then record. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's ass out, but I got to get outside. I got to breathe. Fun day, very awesome day. We had
look out for Pitching Ninja at 10 a.m. And then we had Walker Bueller come on a couple hours later. I mean, it's a great day, but it doesn't make my hip get any looser when I'm sitting on my ass for like 5 hours straight, 6 hours straight, 7 hours straight. So went for a nice little stroll. Excited to, I think I just swallowed a bug. This is what I get for going outside. That's why I never go outside. I know it's the elements they get to. Let's stop messing around because I don't want you to die out there. I know being outside is tough for you. Let's get into play number 1. Miami. Oh wow, we're on another one. His person is on the under. Jake Hazen on the over.
Oh shit.
Gino's 2-unit play. Miami Marlins team total under. We got mid-major Matt on the under too. This is a lot of people on this game. Interesting.
Can I be honest? This is probably my least favorite pick. of the day, but when I'm getting 4 in the first 5, I had to lay it. I love what Luzardo's been able to do adjustment wise. I mean, we faded him, we cashed. I mean, we're on a heater right now.
You are.
We're back in the game. A good day today, and we could be in positive range. Thank you, producer Cohen, for flashing that bad boy. We're back up ahead of Colby. We're within striking distance of positive units, which, I'll be honest, I didn't think that was possible. I had to lay on this. If I didn't have more plays today, I may have stayed away. So I'm not going to make a crazy pitch here. Jesus Sanchez is batting cleanup against a lefty. This was a guy that they wouldn't even hit against lefties earlier in the season. It's not because Jesus Sanchez has magically figured out how to hit lefties. It's because they're down bad, and he's got the best chance to really run into one. Yes, the offense came alive against the Nationals. I think this is going to be a really tough one where it's a lot of undisciplined hitters. Kershaw eats those guys alive. Walker talks about that on the show, with us all the time. And then on the flip side, Luzardo's looked much better of late. I think he was dealing with some fatigue. He gets an extra day the last time through the rotation. He also made some tweaks, kind of got back into his rhythm again, and has been great the last couple starts. I think at home, this Dodgers lineup is fine, but it's not like they've been putting up crazy numbers. I think Luzardo can keep them at bay through the first 5. I love the under 4 because I don't think the Marlins are going to do much at all. And then I even think the Dodgers could be kept at 2 or under through the first 5 as well.
My read on this game is I actually think the Dodgers obliterate Jesus Luzardo. But the problem is I think Kershaw dominates. Like, I think you win this game because it's 3-0 through 5. I think Luzardo goes out for the 6, gives up another 3. Like, it's like one of those starts. But yep. I don't mind this play. I don't know what's going to happen in this game. Like, my read is that square shit. I think the Dodgers won't. Like, that's all I know.
I'm with you. I thought about that. And if it was priced better, I would have just laid on the Dodgers. But it just wasn't priced great. But I agree. At square, I think they win.
Play number 2.
Play number 2, we got the Rays first 5 -1/2 run. This might be one of my favorite plays of the day. I love the way Eflin's throwing. Cutter Crawford is coming back down to earth a little bit, and I'm just gonna keep fading Cutter Crawford in the right spots. I think this is a good spot to fade him. I like the way this Tampa lineup is stacked against him. This is a guy that does not get lefties out much at all, and you've got a lefty stacked lineup here with the Rays, and I think that it's going to be tough for him. I think they're going to make him work. And then on the other side, just Eflin throwing well. This Sox offense has really just been catapulted by Tristan Casas, and that's it. If you can keep Casas at bay, I don't have much worry about the rest of this Red Sox offense right now. And I think Eflin can definitely do that. I love the starting pitching advantage. I love the way the lineup matches up, and I think the Red Sox have been a bit cold. No-brainer pick for me here to take the Rays in the first 5.
I lean the Rays as well. I ain't got nothing for you. I would co-sign this.
You like that one? Hell yeah.
I do. Play number 3.
Number 3, we got Cubs money line. So this is an interesting one. Have you talked much about how the wind is blowing out today?
Yes, we've had a lot of different conflicting things. Colby came on, pitched the first 5 under. It sounded great. DeGen came on right after and said, Colby, that shit ain't hitting. I'm taking the full game over. Cali Wagers on the Cubs, and then you're on the Cubs. Haven't heard any Giants backers yet, but again, you're the second person pitching Cubs with 8 different cappers.
I contemplated so you said second person?
Yeah, you and Cali Wager. And
that makes me feel better.
DeGen's on the over, Colby's on the first 5 under.
I like Colby's reasoning because Kyle Hendricks is technically been a guy that gets killed by the elements, right? And I might be overlapping with him a little bit on some thoughts here, but this is a dude that over the last couple starts has really reinvented himself to be able to get more ground balls, because I think he realized, like, this is how I'm going to survive here is trying to get more ground balls than I normally do. When blowing out, I think it's an advantage for a crafty guy like Hendricks, who he knows how to deal with this. Instead, you have it's going to be a lot of different arms coming out for the Giants. Their offense has not been great. I think Hendricks can kind of pick them apart. I mean, the Giants have been borderline unwatchable of late, and I really think that this is going to be one of those instances where everyone's expecting, a bunch of runs and all that good stuff. And I kind of lean with Colby. I think it's not as many runs as people think. And I thought about the under, I really did. But on the flip side, I was like, okay, I like the Cubs in this game. And if the game goes under, I have a really good feeling the Cubs win it. I didn't want to just totally screw myself out of, if it's one of those games that goes over, the way the Giants are swinging it, I'll take the Cubs in a slugfest as well, because the Giants can't hit right now. So I felt like there's two different avenues to victory here. Hendricks out pitches, this whatever bullpen kind of game the Giants are going to throw together here. And then on the other side, if it turns into a slugfest, I still like the Cubs. So it's just one of those where I really like the way it matches up for the Cubs here at home.
More than fair. I mean, this game is going to be awesome, by the way. I can't wait to watch.
Oh, I'm pumped. Yeah. The professor is going to cook.
Play number 4. We got one more.
We got one more. This is a good old rookie fade. Look, this is a circumstantial start. I think Connor Phillips can be a good starter. I do. I think he can be a very good pitcher at some point in his big league career. But he would not be up right now if it weren't for a COVID outbreak. And that's just the reality of it. And this is a team that is already just really, really thin pitching wise. So you look at it from that lens. Yes, the Mariners offense has not been great, but they went with a bullpen game yesterday, and they had to use some of their decent arms, some of their best arms there. Antone's going to be unavailable. He was the opener. And then they went to a bunch of different guys through the rest of that game. They need Connor Phillips to go a few innings. They need him to go like 4 or 5, maybe even 6. They're going to try. He has not been able to do that. And the only times that he's really had success so far in AAA is when he's leaned on the fastball heavily. His last start was solid in AAA. He threw 70% heaters. I just don't see him being able to be stretched out, going straight heater the whole way. And I just feel like this is going to be one of those games where even if he survives, it's always an escape act. He's going to give you 4 or 5 innings at best. I honestly think he's going to run into some struggles, and they might have to just leave him in there because they have to try to preserve this bullpen that's already been absolutely bludgeoned, plus the COVID situation. I think it's going to be a really tough spot for the Reds to be able to keep this Mariners offense at bay. And then on the flip side, I just like the way the Reds have been swinging the bat. Yeah, Bryce Miller, he's been pretty solid. Fly ball pitcher in Cincinnati. I think that there's a pretty fair chance for the Reds to be able to put some runs together. They've been better against righties. I think they can put some runs on the board as well. But this is more of a fade of Connor Phillips. And then, I don't think Bryce Miller is going to be somebody that's just keeping runs off the board completely. So you're kind of good for 2 or 3 against him. And that should be enough. I think it's going to be a boat race for Connor Phillips. I like the Mariners in this game as well. But if I remember correctly, the price wasn't great. What are we at on MGM now?
What are we at on BetMGM? Where's it going? Also, by the way, people, early lead for the Twins. They're up 1-0. We need a battle back for the Guardians right now. We need to get Carlos Correa back. And same spot. What is it? Minus 115 on 10.
Oh, no. Sorry, for the money line. What's the money line spread?
Oh, no. The Twins are getting to Bybee.
Oh, shit.
What'd you say? Seattle's minus 160 on the money line.
Yeah, I couldn't lay that. Lay that. But I really like Seattle to win that game. If it was minus 130, minus 140, maybe I would have taken it. 60 is just pretty juiced up, but I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored here by Seattle.
Yeah, and I think the Reds are going to be able to hit Bryce Miller a little bit.
I do.
It's a tough game for him in Great American Ballpark. It's a lot of lefties in that lineup. I like this over. I think you might get one of your classic Great American Ballpark type games here.
I agree, and this is going to put me right back at the top of the leaderboard. Not back. I've never been there. It's going to put me in unfamiliar territory, I think.
Let's get after it, my friend. Excited for your card today. Tons of units on the board. Let's go. Let's go.
Do it.
Let's get you
Appreciate
back
you, brother.
inside. It's scary
yes.
outside.
I'm already burning. All right. See ya.
Talk to you later. I think that's it. Right, producer going? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a 2-0 lead for the Twins. Not good for Guardians moneyline backers like myself. Good thing is we got a lot of game left. And I do think that the Guardians will be able to hit. You got to score more than 2 anyway. We'll see what happens. People seem to be very excited for the Twins. Maybe everybody faded me today. We'll see. All right, ladies and gents. Hopefully you have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Remember, don't forget, we're going over the season-long NFL entry tomorrow. We have to remember, it's not gambling advice. Peace out, everybody.